Welcome to the show, folks. I'm Bill Kulkowski,
And I'm Tony Maiello.
and we're two cynical a-holes. We're going to talk about stuff.
And things.
And things. We just got back from the movies. We went and saw Hellboy. Tony, what is your impression of this movie?
You know, I wasn't sold on it right away. I had some problems with his makeup. I think it stems from all that hair. I'm not used to seeing Hellboy with all that hair. And there was something weird going on with the cheeks, but it might have just been the mutton chops. I liked that the movie stuck more to the comic than previous films had. But there was something with all the talking that just lost me. They just, I don't know, it hit a very deep lull that kind of soothed me into a nice slumber, and I missed some of the climax of the film.
Jesus. I can't disagree more. I really enjoyed that film.
I was enjoying it. It wasn't that I hated it. I was enjoying it, but once they just start talking, it turns into a chick flick in my head, and
As much as I would have liked to have seen Guillermo del Toro's third installment, I thought this did a really good job of making Hellboy a little more gritty.
yes.
A little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Adult, I guess?
He was a much more mature Hellboy in not just language, but attitude and body language, and he behaved more like the Hellboy that we know in the comics.
No, absolutely. They drew from a couple stories to put this film together. I really liked the opening, the luchador.
Yeah, that was really
luchador
cool.
story.
The effects were really cool. I liked how the transformations that they showed were going on as the action was going on. So, it wasn't like the character was just standing there and he transformed. He's transforming as he's in motion and as they're going through this whole scene, which made it, I don't know, gave it just a hint of more realism to it.
Yeah.
Even though it's a fantasy, but it was just really cool how they did it, how they handled the whole thing.
No, I enjoyed the movie. I did not fall asleep, but you were up a little early today.
I was up a little early today, and I've been fighting this cold for a week and a half.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's kicking my butt, and all the medication and everything. Just
Good times.
good times.
let's
Better living
see.
through chemistry. It's difficult because we literally just saw the movie.
We did.
And I mean, I really even have had time to digest everything and kind of go back and think about it yet. I don't know if I was completely sold on Ian McShane's portrayal of
That was one of my issues. Here's the thing.
I love Ian McShane. He's a great actor. I don't know if he was the right guy for that part.
I love Ian McShane. I'm a huge Deadwood fan.
Yeah.
So,
but that's the thing. He always comes across as a gunslinger.
His Al Swearingen is amazing, and I always see Al, no matter what he's doing.
Yeah.
His American Gods role is amazing, but again, a lot like Al Swearingen. So for him to play the role of the professor was a little odd. He was a little more edgy.
Yeah, he had a lot of
something you would
swagger
expect.
for
Yes.
the professor.
Yes. So I think he played more of a father role in this film rather than the professor discovering Hellboy.
Well, as opposed to John Hurt. John Hurt was more the professor and less of the father.
Right.
Where he was more of the father and less of the professor.
Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And he also says in the movie at one point he refers to the fact that he was a killer. So
yeah,
the fact that he, they kind of play him more on this guy that just hunted supernatural beings, and I guess that's why he was the way he was. But still, I don't know. It just knowing the character from the comics, you're not expecting
Reread the comics. We know what the continuity actually is, and for them to just kind of flip that, I guess, I mean, it's a minor detail.
It's a minor detail, but it's a major character.
Yes.
So I think that's why it was kind of so jarring.
I'd agree with that. Definitely. The makeup, to address your issues with the makeup, I think they had to do that to pay off that moment when he transforms from taking Excalibur out of the rock.
Yeah.
You know, he becomes a lot bigger. If you notice, his jaw got a little more square.
Right.
The hair didn't grow with his size, so it was kind of secondary.
I think too, the type of prosthetics they used on his face, they moved very well. He was able to express a lot of emotion and a lot of physical expression with his face that they couldn't do before. And I think that might have had something to do with it. It might have been in so many different pieces that they needed to hide seams or whatever, and that could be why he had so much hair also. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen any making of for it, but I mean, that might explain some of it. I mean, he did. I like the fact that he was so expressive, and I mean, that's something, you know, to get that expression and trade off kind of a shaky look. I would gladly make that trade because it allowed for a better performance.
Yeah. You know, I don't know the actor's name, but Hopper.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job.
I thought, oh yeah.
I was a little worried when I saw the previews. I thought, I don't know if I like his approach, but in the movie, I thought he was great.
Yeah, I liked him too. His mannerisms, his body language, his delivery, everything just screamed Hellboy.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to take Ron Perlman out of it because I thought he was amazing. I thought
he was really good too. And the thing is, I mean, for Hopper, and I feel bad I don't remember his real name, but for him, he was kind of put in a really bad position because he's not only does he have to make a static character come to life because everybody just knows Hellboy from the comic pages, but he's now got to follow a performance that everybody loved. You know, the Hellboy movies, they weren't hated by anybody. Everybody loved Ron Perlman in the role. He did a great job, and now he's got to follow that and make it his own, and yet still live up to so much. So, he was in a tough position, but I think he pulled it off. He did a great job.
No, I really enjoyed his performance. So we've seen all three of the movies.
Yeah.
How would you rate them? Place them in order.
Okay. I would probably I'd put the first Ron Perlman movie and this one tied for first.
Oh.
And then that second Ron Perlman movie in a distant third. Because I wasn't Hellboy 2, I wasn't a giant fan of. I think they went a little crazy with the creatures. They went too far off of book as far as taking it out of the Hellboy universe, which I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had that issue with part 2.
And I think that's why the third movie never got made.
I think you're right.
Because I know Mignola didn't like it. No. And I think I don't think it did as well as the box office because the fans didn't enjoy it. I mean, visually it was a stunning film to look at, but it wasn't Hellboy.
Right. Yeah, I agree. If I had to put my order, I'd probably put this new one first. The original Hellboy second, and then of course Golden Army third. I think my biggest issue with all of the movies actually is that it might have too large of a budget. It might be too big of a production. I personally would like to see a grittier, scaled down Hellboy movie.
Like almost like a noir type.
Yes.
That would be cool.
That would be amazing,
But it's hard, when you're fighting monsters, it's hard to do that.
Yeah, but
you know what? If they use more practical effects instead of all these crazy digital effects, they could do it on make it a little darker, make it a little grittier, street level type stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to be a little more creative.
Put them in the sewers, have them, Plague of Frogs, man. He's fighting these beasts in the sewers, and that'll cover your your lighting. You know, you don't have to have all the lighting because you're in the sewers. You can hide a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, it's
even the opening. You know, not that they wasted a story with that opening, but I personally like that that book, the Hellboy's Time in Mexico. I can't remember the full title.
Yeah, I don't remember the story either, but I thought it was cool that they fit it in here.
Oh, absolutely. But they could have done a movie around that. And,
sure.
And they could have cut it back a lot. I mean, you're just dealing with vampires at that point.
Right.
You know, a lot of dark imagery. Lighting is cut down. You know, you're not reliant on these giant CG monsters. A little more gritty, a little more personal. Tell more of a story versus just an action-packed movie, which this was. This was a lot of action from beginning to end.
Except for where they were talking and putting me to sleep.
I don't know where you found the time to fall asleep. Who was speaking when you fell asleep?
There was a lot of just talking head stuff. It was the Red Witch was yabbering on, and
The Blood Witch.
the Blood Witch, and Hellboy, and
So the very end.
towards the very end.
So he's already transformed.
It was before he transformed, because when I woke up he had transformed. So when I woke up, I think he pulled the sword out, or it was sometime.
So you didn't even see Ian McShane's death.
I didn't see Ian McShane's.
You know what? It was a little anticlimactic.
Was
it's
it?
okay. She just stuck his finger.
Oh wait,
her
yeah,
finger.
she just slices his. Yeah. So it was shortly after they visited Merlin.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But I liked what was the pig characters?
Right. The warthog guy.
The warthog guy. Yeah, I like that he was included because I remember the character in the comic stories when he's dragging the witch around and everything, and I was like, it's so cool that they went this route. I was very excited because I remember really loving those stories.
They included
those
a lot.
Books.
That Hunters Society,
right?
The Giants.
There was a lot.
Baba
There's a
Yaga.
lot in here. There's a lot in this movie, and yeah, they kind of touch on a lot of different stories, and they do it well. They do it real well. I mean, even those giants looked amazing. The designs on those giants. I would have liked to have gotten a better look at them because there was so much going on with their designs that you couldn't see it all because they're constantly moving with the big fight scene. But the designs were amazing.
I mean, and they even modernized them because they're giants from centuries ago, but they're living in today's society. So they have things like car hatchbacks tied to their arms as like a shield.
Armor and stuff, and it was really cool how they did it.
No, I agree. That was really cool. I was impressed with all of the monsters, especially the demons that come out of the ground towards the end.
Yeah,
those were demons I've never seen before. To be able to do that in today's day and age, when you've seen just about everything, every type of design for a monster, these things look like nothing I've seen before.
Yeah, everything was very unique. I mean, design wise, they hit a home run. They did a lot of really good work crafting this movie.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
I'm not familiar with the director. I paid attention to his name. I don't remember it now. I'm just awful with names, but I don't remember seeing his name before. I would like to look up and see what other stuff he's done, because if he's done things before this, I'm sure he's done some good stuff. This was the way this was done, the way they made it and put it together. It showed a lot of respect for the source material and a lot of respect to the fan base. And I'd like to see what this guy has done in the past. And this offers a glimpse of what he's going to be giving us in the future too. So I think this guy is going to be somebody to watch out for.
Yeah, I agree with that. The soundtrack of the movie.
Soundtrack was great.
Oh, it was so good.
I mean, if you're a rock and roll fan, this was an awesome soundtrack.
Yeah, a lot of hard hitting music. You've got Motley Crue in there, the Royal Bloods, Alice Cooper. Who am I missing?
The whatchamacallit in Spanish.
Oh, Scorpions.
Yeah, Scorpions in Spanish. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was great. I love the soundtrack. I think I'm gonna have to pick that up.
definitely a fun movie. I mean, I want to go see it again to kind of, to see what I missed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is one you need to see.
This was
twice.
definitely a lot of fun. It's worth a watch. Go see in theaters because there's a lot of, especially the fight scene with the giants and everything. It's worth seeing on the big screen. And if you're a cheapskate, go to an early showing and you get the matinee pricing or whatever. But it's worth seeing on the big screen.
We went to an MJR Theater, which on Tuesdays tickets are $5, and popcorn. A small popcorn is free. You upgrade to a large for $1. $6.
Is that every MJR?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Gosh, I got to start going on Tuesdays more.
No kidding. I mean, we went fairly early today. It would have been $5 no matter what. But it's well worth to see on the big screen. If you can see it in IMAX, that would be amazing.
Oh, is it available in IMAX?
Yeah. Didn't you see at the end, the
I don't
IMAX logo?
I was waiting for the last scene at the end of the credits. There's two bonus scenes in the credits, so stay till the end.
Yes.
You get a little hint at what might come in the next film. So.
Before we wrap up Hellboy, what'd you think about the new team, the new sidekicks?
The new BPRD?
Yes.
I liked it. I'm looking forward to them introducing more characters into the universe, because I'm sure they're going to make another one. But these are characters that I liked in the books, and I like seeing them on the big screen. So and knowing their history from the comics, that there's a lot of things that they can play with in the future. So I think it's good choices so far.
Would you say that this has been a spoiler free?
No, not a spoiler free.
So it's not spoiler free. So I'm gonna fully.
Yeah, we've already. I mean, we talked about the one character's death and some of the other things that happened. So
okay, so first post-credit scene. It's not really a post-credit scene.
It's in the midst of the credits.
Okay,
the one in the middle of the credits.
Yeah. So we see them come upon this area in Siberia.
Yeah.
So they're fighting through some baddies in this base in Siberia, and they find this giant tank filled with water, and in it, all you see was Abe Sapien's hand smack the glass, and I thought that was great.
Yeah, that was cool, and that's a great foreshadowing for what's to come.
Absolutely. And I think by seeing that much of him, you can see that they're going to go with a much different design.
Well, much different design than the previous film.
Correct. Or even the book, because I thought the previous film did pretty well with the matching up to the book. It was
pretty close to the book, but I think it was a little different. He was a little more gangly.
Yeah. Well, what's his name?
Oh yeah, the actor.
Yeah, I mean he's a very thin guy.
We're just awful with
horrible
names.
with names.
Horrible. We're gonna. You know what? Next time we're gonna have another laptop here where we can just have the Google page up there, the IMDb's and all that.
On YouTube, you'll see all the names. On the podcast, sorry folks. You're gonna have to do a little research.
Suffer.
And the second post-credit scene was with Baba Yaga getting revenge for not getting her eye.
Right. She's
talking to someone. That person is not revealed. I have an idea of who it is just by the voice and what she says to him. Do you know who that is?
I know who the villain is. I don't remember his name.
Okay, so it's
that old
Rasputin.
Rasputin. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I believe it is. So I think he'll get introduced into the second movie and be the big baddie.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be somebody else.
That's my thought.
Rasputin makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was Hellboy.
Especially since she says, "I'll let you die."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I enjoyed the movie. I think it's definitely worth seeing. I think you guys should all run out and go see it.
Definitely worth a watch.
Yes.
We give it two assholes up.
We give it 2 a-holes up.
2 a-holes up. There you go. We're not cussing.
I don't know where this podcast is going. We'll see. We'll let it evolve. Oh, one last thing now that we're on that point. At any point, did you actually want Baba Yaga's boobs to fall out?
Of course I did.
As gross and gangly as she was.
Disgusting as she was, it would have been cool to see a full body makeup. Just because the design was so weird and creepy and disgusting, it would have been awesome to see her just in, full birthday suit.
You are teased a lot with her breasts, and they look like they're just about to pop out.
Just about to flop out of her flimsy, ragged clothes.
And it doesn't.
And it doesn't happen.
But I thought it was hilarious, I found myself going, yeah, I think I want to see that.
I think the makeup artist was just a little too prudish to design disgusting nipples for her. So
They would. Oh, that's the other thing. Hellboy's makeup. Back to Hellboy's makeup. His horns. I did not like his horn stubs because they look like buttholes to me.
they did look like I was couldn't put my finger on it. They looked off,
They looked like buttholes.
They looked broken, and yet they took the time to show you them filing them, and yet they still look jagged and broken. Yeah, I did have an issue with the horns.
I can see them probably being more accurate to what horns would look like if you chopped them off,
but if you're going to take the
them
time
down.
to file them down the way they did, and especially since he had a sawzall, he cut it with a sawzall at one point, it wouldn't be so jagged like that.
Yeah.
It's something for movie 2 they need to address.
Yeah, I'd agree. So the buttholes bothered me. Butthole horns. Other than those minor criticisms, great movie. Go check it out.